Hi, I'm Tim. I opened this store, the Gem Gallery, in 1986 with the goal in mind to provide Reno a unique, one-of-a-kind custom jewelry store determined to satisfy the local folks. I have been a professional goldsmith since 1978. Our creative staff consists of 3 goldsmiths and 2 wax carvers. This short video will show you our forte. We will take you from the design table to the finished piece. Everything you are about to see in this video is done right here at the Gem Gallery. So come on. From the shop to the sales floor, our entire staff strives for quality, efficiency, and the best customer service. Our goal is to provide custom, one-of-a-kind, unique, yet practical jewelry of the finest quality. To set us apart from all other jewelry stores, we also carry a few lines of select designer and other manufactured jewelry, along with our own creations. Our talented goldsmiths provide efficient, fine quality repairs that most other stores aren't capable of handling, including working with platinum, intricate repairs using a laser welder, restringing, engraving, and a complete on-premise manufacture of jewelry. And when the jewelry is finished, we have an accredited gem lab on their premise with a gemologist. The first step after a style is decided upon is to draw a sketch of the piece. I will generally do 2 to 4 designs for a custom piece to choose from. This particular piece is a custom stock item. The center stone is a trillion tanzanite. It has an intense violet blue color. The design I am doing now will be done in 14 karat white gold, along with 9 small diamond accents. For all the Gem Gallery custom designs, only excellent cut F to G color and VS clarity diamonds are used. The next step is to make a wax model of the piece. Roxanne will use the sketch as her guide to build the model. The Gem Gallery uses actual stones to build the wax around to ensure a perfect fit for all stones. This process takes about 2 to 5 hours, or longer in some large intricate pieces. After the wax is ready for the detail work, it is removed from the base and the final trim is done. At this point, the stone is placed into the wax and made sure it fits correctly into the piece. The finished wax is attached to a rubber base with a cone-shaped bottom, so it creates a funnel for the molten gold to travel through in the casting process. This funnel is called a sprue. The metal cylinder, called a flask, is put onto the base. The flask is now ready to have the investment, which is a fine plaster-like material, mixed and poured into it. The exact amounts of water and investment are mixed to a smooth, batter-like consistency. The investment must be thoroughly mixed, and when the texture is just right, it will be ready for the next step. The investment is then placed into a vacuum chamber and all the air is removed. Air bubbles create little balls of gold on the cast piece if not removed completely. After the investment is vacuumed, it is poured into the flask and the process is repeated. The reason for this is that some air can get into the investment during the pouring. The bubbling you see is the air being removed from the investment. After the second vacuum is done, the investment is left to dry and harden. This takes approximately 1.5 to 2 hours. The flask is then placed into the kiln where it will remain for 6 to 8 hours. During this time, the wax melts out of the mold and disintegrates, leaving a negative impression or a cavity of the piece. After the kiln has reached casting temperature, the piece is ready to be cast. First, the correct amount of gold is weighed. What you see is 14 karat white gold casting grain, or beads. The gold is placed into a ceramic crucible where it will be melted and then poured into the flask. The flask is placed onto the casting machine, whole side up, where the gold will be poured. A vacuum test is then run to ensure everything goes smoothly. The torch is then lit and the gold is melted. 14 karat gold melts at approximately 1500 degrees. crucible is wiggled slightly to see if the gold is consistently melted. The gold is then cleaned with borax to remove any skin oil or impurities. The vacuum pulls the molten gold into the flask, filling the cavity to form the piece. The flask is then left to cool naturally. After the cooling, the investment is dug out of the flask and the casting is pushed out also. It is then cleaned with a stiff brush and water. The rough casting then heads to the bench, where the sprue, or funnel, is removed with a handsaw. Now it is ready for trimming and initial polish. First, the rough cast is filed, removing the top of the sprue and any uneven areas. Small hand files are used, then fine emery paper and soft pumice wheels to produce a smooth surface. Small brushes with polishing compound are applied to shine the piece and remove the scratches. After this process, it is ready to go to the polishing machine for a high polish. The polishing machine runs at a very high speed to create a mirror finish. After polishing, the piece is placed into the ultrasonic cleaner to remove the polishing compound. After it is cleaned, it is rinsed and steam cleaned. The polished piece is now ready to be assembled and have the stone set. The prongs are cut to create a seat for the diamonds. And the prongs are then pulled over to secure the diamonds, and then the prongs are trimmed. The top 3 diamonds are what are called bead set. A seat is cut into the piece, then prongs are carved out with what's called a graver. And a beading tool rounds and smooths the bead prongs. The white gold wire is then welded to the cast piece. Next, it is placed in what is called a third hand. Boric acid is applied to protect the gold from oxidation and heat damage. Flux is also applied to direct the solder flow. After soldering and cooling, the wire is bent into the desired position, as shown in the sketch. The top portion of the wire is soldered. The second and third portion of the wires are laser welded and are also bent to match the design. Since gold is naturally yellow, although when mixed with a white alloy, it is a slightly yellowish white color. 14 karat white gold is 58% pure gold, the rest is the white alloy. Rhodium is in the platinum family and is naturally pure white. It is used to plate or coat the surface to ensure a bright white finish. Here is the completed piece, ready for the showcase, or for you. Well, I hope you enjoyed learning how unique quality jewelry is made. So come down to the Gem Gallery and see one of the many custom designs we've created. Most important, let us help you create your own special one-of-a-kind design, one you won't find anywhere else.